Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatirmirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Meritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shtarvaram Jangaram Yaktam Yachinchit Sacharacharam Tatparam Dashitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Bhavaji Vyapti Yat Sarvam Trilokam Sacharacharam Tatparam Dashitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarva Shruti Shirorana Virajita Parambuja Verantam Bhuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjana Bindu Nada Kaladita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruta Tattvamala Vibhushita Bhukti Mukti Pradadacha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Jamna Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidayine Atma Jnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shoshanam Bhava Sindhuscha Vyapanam Sarasampada Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapa Tattva Jnana Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamadma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Adira Nadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidyadravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों सुमन्ना शरा प्यार पिताए मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों सुमन्ना शरा प्यार पिताए तेरे रीने हे जो है वही तुझको समर्पित है हे जो प्रति है प्रॉपर्टी है न है पूजा की शक्ति है न प्रति है प्रति है प्रॉपर्टी है न है पूजा की शक्ति है न प्रीति है प्रतीति है न अब मुझको मेरे सरस्वत समर्पित बना ले यंत्र अब मुझको मेरे सरस्वत समर्पित मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों सुमन्ना शरा के अर्पित है मेरे शरणों सुमन्ना शरा के अर्पित है तेरे दीने हे जो समर्पित है तेरे हे जो है वही तुझको विद्या है मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों भाव सुमन्ना शरण के विद्या है मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों भाव सुमन्ना शरण के विद्या है न पृथ्वी है प्रभृति है न है पूजा की शक्ति है न पृथ्वी है प्रभृति है न है पूजा की शक्ति है न पृथ्वी है प्रभृति है न है पूजा की शक्ति है न पृथ्वी है प्रभृति है न है पूजा की शक्ति है मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों भाव सुमन्ना शरण के विद्या मेरे सुमन्ना शरण के विद्या मेरे गुरुदेव शरणों भाव सुमन्ना शरण के विद्या तुम ही हो भव में मेरे विचारों में पुकारों में तुम ही हो भव में मेरे विचारों विचारों में पुकारों में ओम अवतार शिशाय नमः ओम विषमाय नमः ओम देवकार समुद्यताय नमः ओम सूक्ष्मतनवे नमः ओम चिन्मयाय नमः ओम गुरुमुतये नमः ओम सुंदराय नमः ओम सुलोचनाय नमः ओम सुमुखाय नमः ओम चारुहसाय नमः ओम केशवाय नमः ओम पद्मंबुजाय नमः ओम मंदगमनाय नमः ओम चर्मभरधरिणे नमः ओम ब्रह्माय नमः ओम मदिरसपकाय नमः ओम श्री भवजकाय नमः ओम गायत्र्यज्वने नमः ओम अपान स्वीकारकाय नमः ओम विष्णुपूजकाय नमः ओम नमो नारायणे त्रिमंत्रवसकाय नमः ओम स्वरमयाय नमः ओम मधुरकंठाय नमः ओम कृष्ण संकेतलोलुपाय नमः ओम सुतप्रियाय नमः ओम मितवशिने नमः ओम अग्निने नमः ओम चित्रकलाविशरदाय नमः ओम रत्नकराय नमः ओम सदवे नमः ओम जगत्पथाय नमः ओम सर्वलोकहिताय नमः ओम भक्तप्रियाय नमः ओम सुहृदाय नमः ओम अनुकूलाय नमः ओम नेयाय नमः ओम सुदर्शनाय नमः ओम भक्तवत्सलाय नमः ओम प्रेममूर्तये नमः ओम शुभेक्षणाय नमः ओम प्रीतिवर्धनाय नमः ओम स्वस्तिदायकाय नमः ओम तारकाय नमः ओम अनुग्रहाय नमः ओम वर्धनाय नमः ओम अर्चिताय नमः ओम अर्थाय नमः ओम श्रीप्रदाय नमः ओम जनार्दनाय नमः ओम मनोहराय नमः ओम महाक्षाय नमः ओम सिद्धेश्वराय नमः ओम भस्मभूषिताय नमः ओम आत्मलिंगाय नमः ओम लिंगक्षणप्रसरकाय नमः ओम श्रीसदनाय नमः ओम माधवाय नमः ओम ओंकारपसकाय नमः ओम सूक्ष्माय नमः ओम विशुखाय नमः ओम सात्विकाय नमः ओम समदर्शिने नमः ओम दक्षाय नमः ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः ओम निरंकाराय नमः ओम निर्मोहाय नमः ओम अव्याघ्राय नमः ओम चित्तक्रोधाय नमः ओम विनाशशीलाय नमः ओम सवशाय नमः ओम कुशलाय नमः ओम क्षमाय नमः ओम सत्यधमाय नमः ओम निर्विकल्पाय नमः ओम विरक्ताय नमः ओम अतीन्द्राय नमः ओम सत्यसंधाय नमः ओम पवित्राय नमः ओम मधुरस्वनाय नमः ओम सुरंदनाय नमः ओम नंदनाय नमः ओम प्रसन्मने नमः ओम भक्तनिरये नमः ओम सक्षये नमः ओम समद्मये नमः ओम सदयोगिने नमः ओम हरये नमः ओम सुतपाय नमः ओम सम्याय नमः ओम गुह्याय नमः ओम विमुक्तात्माय नमः ओम गभीराय नमः ओम गुप्ताय नमः ओम आत्मारामाय नमः ओम श्रीनिवासाय नमः ओम देवाय नमः ओम द्युतिधराय नमः ओम गण्याय नमः ओम गुरवे नमः ओम दुरतिरमाय नमः ओम गानाय नमः ओम भगवते नमः ओम अविशारमार्गदर्शकाय नमः ओम कुजश जगतकाय नमः ओम अभिप्रायाय नमः ओम सर्वतसमध्याय नमः ओम क्षमकथभवतकाय नमः ओम प्रेमावतार श्री विश्वानंद स्वामी नमः।
Avantu no yato Vishnu vichakrame Pratya saptadamapi Idam Vishnu vichakrame Tredani tade padam Samudyamasya bhagam shure Premi pada vichakrame Vishnu gopadabhya Ato dharmani dharyane Vishnu karmani pashyata Yato vratani paspase Indrasya yujasaka
Tat Vishnoho Paramam Paragum Sada Pasyanti Surya Divi Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagurvagum Sasamindhate Vishno Yat Paramam Padam. Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tamno Vishwananda Prachodayate Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tamno Vishwananda Prachodayate Om Premavattaraya Vidmahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samabrabha Nirvigam Kurume Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya.
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketabare Narayana Chittadrivikrama Chakrapane Dityadisachatara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukmini Sabhavanasha Hare Murare Radesha Gopisha Surupa Prabhadivadya Shri Dvarakashraya Vakunta Pate Puvaneka Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Mina Krute Kamatarupa Varaha Murte Trivikramaya Kuhane Brahurama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Hare Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodara Chatarananda Katari Shori Gopa Gopichana Sambrutatina Pando Gopi Jana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Shira Vishai Bhujagari Patal Pashai Sat Bhakta Hrut Satana Shai Raman Gashai Shri Gopapama Vridutalpa Sukari Shai Go Gopapala Pahare Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Kashapati Sukanara Dakota Madi Brahma Shisanka Madisanga Vaparateshaho Tishtanti Devata Vatarshana Pakya Ketoho Gopala Sekara Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Mandara Chari Tulasi Dala Malikada Hai Malinani Anjali Pote Samutaharante Tishtati Tvapavatatar Tale Monindraha Radha Manohara Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Vedatrayam Patatiko Tamakana Koyaha Gayanti Satko Nagano Varata Savarkaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Kata Visheshaha Shri Narada Dirishaya Tava Suprabhatam. Govardhano Tarana Kopa Kishora Kopa Gopi Janamrita Subesha Papadipota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divyateha Shri Rukminisha Varata Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Vatsachina Sharanagata Parijata Bhaktarti Panchana Kripa Karatina Panto Ityandaka iti chana priyati vyarupa Shri Nandakopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam. Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padma Tara Prameya Padmalaya Sraruta Padma Nivasa Shore Padmopapati Surasevita Pada Padma Padmadinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam. Vrindata Levi Haranaya Mahendra Vandya Kandar Patarpa Haratinya Sutesha Rupa Chandranatnaya Siddha Chandana Lipnateha Govinda Yadava Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Nanda Nandana Yashora Kumara Tira Mayagatina Tavichona Supushpahara Nilambutado Susharira Ramavihara Gopala Deva Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Bhashija Pavati Satya Sukadi Padra Shri Mitra Vinda Divasa Prabhuputra Karya Hai Tishtanti Divya Pavameta Vasevanartam Gopi Mana Priya Hare Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananta Mukunda Shauri Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Muniyurna Nishavatanti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam. Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Aharnisham Buri Krutam Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahetukam. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Chintamani Prakara Sadama Sukalpa Vriksha Lakshamriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Vinum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Alola Chandra Kala Satvana Malya Pamshi Ratnan Gadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Anganiyasya Sakalendriya Vritimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Satushvala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Advaitam Achyutamanani Manantarupam Atyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atmapakto Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantastu Koti Shatapatsara Samprakamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasyat Prapadasimna Vichintya Tatve Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ekopya Saurashatum Chakatanda Koti Yachaktirasti Chakatanda Chayayatantaha Andantarasta Paramano Chayantarastam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yat Pava Pavitati Yomanuchastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Pusha Chuktermya eva nikama pratitastu vanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya rasa pratipavitave Chakatanda shatani sute Trigunyata vishaya veda vitaya mana Sattva vallambi parasattva vishuddha sattvam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya rasatmataya manasu Ya praninam pratipalan smaratam upetya Lila itena puvanani jayata chasram Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Golokanam nichatam nitale chatasya Devi mahesha haritam suteshu teshu Tete prapava nichaya vihitashayena Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Shrishti sthiti pralaya sadhana shaktir eka Chayeva yasya povanani viparti durga Ichyanurupamapi yasya chateshtatesa Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Shriram yatatati vikara vishesha yoga Sanchayatena hitata pritatasti hetoho Yashyam bhutam apitata samupeta karya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Diparchir eva hidashantarama pupetya Dipayate vivritaketu samanatarma Yastadrik eva hicha vishnutaya vipati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakaranartha vachale pachati sma yoga Nidramananta chakatanda saroma kupaha Atara shakti mavalambya param svamurtim Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasye kanishvasita kala matavalambya Jivanti loma pilachacha katandanata Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala vishesho Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Basvani tashma shakaleshu niteshu tejaha Sviyam kiya prakatayata pitata tatra Brahmaya esha chakatanda vitara karta Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinitaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Samaye Sakanadi Raja Vignam Vikantum Alam Yasya Chakatra Yasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Agnir Mahika Kanamambu Marodishasha Kalastatatva Manasiti Chakatrayani Yasmat Pavati Vipavanti Vishanti Yamsha Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Yakchakshuresha Savita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyaknaya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shutayastapamshi Brahmarikita Patakavataya Chachivaha Yadata Matra Vipava Prakata Prapava Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Yastindra Kopa Matavedra Mahosva Karma Bandhana Rupa Palapajana Mata Note Karmani Nirdhati Kindra Sabhakti Pacham Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Yam Krodha Kama Sakacha Pranaya Dipiti Vatsalya Moha Gora Gora Vasevya Pavahe Sanchitya Tasya Sadrishim Tanu Apuete Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajahame.
Jagadev, so now we're chanting the Sri Sukta, which you find on page 44, and also the Bhu Sukta, Menina Sukta, which are unfortunately not in the print book. And this we do every Friday in praise of the Divine Mother. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Hiranyavarnamarinim Suvarnarajatasrajam Chandra Miranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Ma'avaha Tama'avaha Jatavedo Lakshmim Anapagaminim Yasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanaham Ashvapurvamratamadhyam Hastinada Prabodinim
Shriyam Devim Upakvaye Shirma Devi Jushatam Kamso Smitam Hiranya Prakara Martram Jalantim Triptam Tarpayantim Padme Stitam Padmavarnam Tamiho Pakvaye Shriyam Chandram Prabhasam Yashasa Jalantim Shriyam Loke Devadustam Udaram Tam Padmini Mim Sharanamaham Prabhadye Lakshmir Me Nashyatam Tvam Vrane Aditya Varne Tapasodi Jato Vanaspatistava Vrikshota Bilvaha Tasya Palani Tapasanudangtu Mayantarayascha Vaya Alakshmihi Upetu Mam Devasaka Kirtistamanina Saha Pradurvutos Mirashtresmin Kyattamritam Datatu Me Kshatpipasamalam Jyeshtam Lakshmim Nashayam Yaham Abhutimasamriddhim Cha Sarva Nirnudami Grihata Gandhakdvaram Durartashang Nityapushtam Karishinim Ishvarigam Sarva Bhutanam Tamiho Pakvaye Shayam Manasakka Mamakutim Vacha Satyamashemahi Pashunam Rupamanyasya Mahishe Shayatam Yashaha Kartamena Praja Bhuta Mai Sambhava Kardama Shayam Vasayame Kule Mataram Patmamalinim Apasrajantu Snigdhani Chiglita Vasame Grehe Nicha Devi Mataram Shayam Vasayame Kule Ardram Pushkarini Pushtim Suvarnam Hema Malinim Suryam Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Maavaha Ardram Yakkarinim Yashtim Pingalam Patma Malinim Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Maavaha Tamavaha Jatavedo Lakshmi Manapagaminim Yasyam Hiranyam Prabhutam Gavo Dasyo Shvan Vindeyam Purushanaham Yashichi Prayato Utva Juhuyada Jamanvaham Suktam Panchadashajam Jashikamasatatam Japet Padma Priye Padmini Padmahaste Padmalaye Padmadalaye Takshi Vishwapriye Vishnamanonkole Tvatpada Padmam Mahisannidhastva Mahadevecha Vitmahe Vishnupatne Cha Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Bhumir Bhumna Jovadinantariksham Mahitva Upastete Devati Teknamanada Mannadhyayadade Ayango Prishnirakrami Sanan Mataram Punaha Pitaram Chaprayan Suvaha Trigum Shattam Avirajati Vakpatangaya Shishaye Pratyasya Vahatyubihi Asya Pranadapanam Yandascharadirochana Vyakyan Mahishasuvaha Yatva Kritapparuvapamanyunayadavajya Sukalpamagne Tattavapunastoti Payamase Yatte Manyuparo Tasya Prithvi Manudatvase Aditya Vishve Tatteva Vasavascha Samavaran Mano Jyotirjushatam Vakcham Vichindam Yajnagum Samimam Dadatu Prahaspatisthanotam Imam No Vishve Deva Yamadayanta Medini Devi Vasundara Syat Vasudha Devi Vasavi Brahma Vajjasa Pitranagam Shuktram Chakshurmanaha Devi Hiranyagarbhini Devi Prasuvari Sadane Satyayani Sida Sabhuktravati Savitri Ano Devi Mayangi Mahorarani Mahovatishta Shange Shange Yagne Yagne Vibhishani Indrapatni Vyapini Surasaliriha Vayumati Jalashayani Shriyam Dharaja Satyando Parimedini Shvopariradambarigaya Vishnupatni Mahim Devi Madhavi Madhavapriyam Lakshmi Priyasakim Devim Namam Macchata Vallabham Danudaraye Vitmahe Sarvasiddhai Cha Dhimahi Tanno Dhara Prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Neelam Devi Gam Sharanamaham Prapadye Granahi Kritavati Savitaradhipadyai Payasvati Rantirashano Asto Trivadishang Vishnupatya Gorasyeshana Sahasoya Manota Prihaspatir Matarishvota Vayus Sanduvana Vata Binogrananto Vishtambho Divo Dharnaf Prativya Asyeshana Jagato Vishnupatni Mahadevecha Vitmahe Vishnupatnye Cha Dhimahi Tanno Nila Prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev. Good morning, everybody. Happy, you could say, start of Diwali or Lakshmi Puja today. So maybe I repeat the verse that I'm going through at the moment, as right now I'm going through the form and different aspects of the Supreme Lord, or different parts of the Lord's form. And I was speaking in the last few weeks about the different weapons and different arms, firstly, that the Lord is holding. So I already spoke about the Shankha Chakra, already spoke about the mace, the Gada, and the Padma, the lotus, which are the four, you could say, main attributes, right, which the Lord holds. And so the one that I wanted to focus on today, or this morning, this evening will be another one. So this morning, I wanted to focus on the sword, right? And so I'm kind of going along with a verse from Canto 4, chapter 7, verse 20, in which it says that his complexion was blackish, his garment yellow like gold, and his helmet as dazzling as the sun. His hair was bluish, the color of black bees, and his face was decorated with earrings. His 8 hands held a conch shell, a wheel, a club, a lotus flower, arrow, bow, shield, and a sword. And they were decorated with golden ornaments such as bangles and bracelets. His whole body resembled a blossoming tree, beautifully decorated with various kinds of flowers. So I'm kind of going along with this verse, and we'll go to each part of it. Later we'll speak about the hair and the crown and the bangles, etc. So I'll go to the weapons first. Right? So today, the one that I chose is the sword. And it's a very important weapon in terms of symbology that he is holding. So the verse that I chose from the Bhagavatam to kind of show that is from the first canto, chapter 2, verse 15, where it says, Yat anudhyashina yukta karma grantini bandhanam chindanti kovidhastasya kona kuryat kadaratim, which says that with the sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work or karma by remembering the Supreme Lord. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? And so there is one very important purpose of why the Lord holds the sword, and what it symbolizes is, as it says here already, knowledge. Knowledge which removes ignorance, which removes the effect of the bondage, this knot of bondage. And actually, I like this verse, or I took this verse, because he describes it in such a simple way. He says, the way on how to use this sword to cut through this bondage that we have created, that we have bound ourselves with, is knowledge, yes, but it is at its simplest form, which is remembering him. All you need to do is remember him, and that simple remembrance of him acts as a sword which cuts those ties. And so that is what we always have to bring it down or back to. And I'll go through a couple of details that the sword stands for. Knowledge, discrimination, etc., etc. But in the end of the day, it is that simple. That's in that connection with the sword. All that we need to do is remember God, and everything else will happen accordingly. Because simply remembering him has consequences. Every action that we do in this life, in this world, has consequences, right? But if you think of people, if you think of objects, of course they have a consequence, but maybe not that extreme. But of course, the more that you think of something or someone, the more attachment you create towards it. But you might have to do it many times so that it has a touching effect. Right? If you just think of an object once, you don't necessarily immediately get attached to it. But if you think of them many times and repeatedly, you become obsessed with it, and you start to become more and more attached to it. And the more difficult it becomes to detach from it, obviously. The Lord is the same, but the Lord's name is even worse. Because usually just thinking of him once might be enough that he will never let go of you. So you think of him once, you pray to him once sincerely, and you're finished. He will never leave you alone anymore. Of course, it still takes a lot of effort and work to also attach yourself in terms of emotion towards him, towards the mind actually will be dragged towards him. That takes effort, that takes work. But to be, you could say, spiritually attracted towards him, or to go on that path to be attracted towards him, takes one time, sincere remembrance. And then he will bind you towards him, and you cannot run away from him. Right? But of course, as we know, to awaken that love towards him, to make your mind drag you towards him or guide you towards him, that takes effort, repeated practice, repeated remembrance, not just one time. Right? And so the sword, or sometimes depicted as a scabbard also, which is like a smaller version, is called the Khadga. And in the Vishnu Purana, it says that the sword which Krishna possesses is the sword of immaculate wisdom. The sheath in which it is kept is the sheath of ignorance. And so the sword represents, as I said, knowledge, and the nature of that is the true knowledge or the wisdom itself. And that which contains the sword or surrounds the sword in terms of when it is kept inactively, it represents ignorance, the opposite of what the sword represents. So the sword of Krishna specifically is called Nandaka. And Nandaka means that which is the source of joy. I mean, that's the name of the sword of Krishna. So now if you ask Krishna's enemies whether the sword brought them a lot of joy, it's questionable. right? It probably was, they probably didn't see it that way. We could see it on a supreme level. Obviously, for sure, the sword brought ultimately great joy to his enemies also. But it is also why the Lord usually is depicted, or often in those 8 arms, depicted holding the sword, is because him holding the sword represents his aspect of Bhakta Vatsala also, meaning the aspect of the Lord which will do anything to protect his devotees from enemies, you could say, in a material, physical way, in terms of obstacle way, in terms of ignorance, is the greatest obstacle or the greatest enemy that we have. And so he will do anything, as I said before, you remember him once, and he will take that invitation, and he will do anything to protect you from enemies, such as ignorance. When sometimes swords can be used in a very aggressive way, and sometimes they can be used in a very controlled and subtle way. Right? So sometimes it can be very extreme in the way that the Lord cuts off the ignorance from our life or from our eyes. And sometimes he does it very softly and smoothly. Right? That depends on, I guess, what we need, and it depends on his mood, how patient he wants to pretend to be. Of course, he's supremely patient, but sometimes, if you've met Guruji before, you might know that he's very patient, and yet he does still like to go quick sometimes, right? I remember in South Africa, 2019, beginning of 2019, we were in South Africa with Guruji, and I was allowed to accompany him to serve him. And it was originally supposed to be 3 people traveling with him. But for whatever reasons, just in the week before we were going to leave, both of them dropped off. And so I was kind of the only one traveling with him to, let's say, from here to serve him. And it was an amazing experience. It was not always comfortable, but it was an amazing experience. It was an amazing trip. And so the whole trip, I had this mindset of, I am here to serve. It is my responsibility to serve. That is the only reason I'm here. Why else would he take me? Right? I'm useless otherwise. I'm here to serve him. Right? I have to give certain value back for why I am here. Why he's spending this money, why he's choosing me to go, right? And it's not only because there is the temple integration there with the priests and so on to help, because he's often not taking me for temple integrations. There's many other people who can do that, right? So this was in my mind the entire time, to be grateful and to be of service. And there was many things that kind of happened throughout this trip, which sometimes confused me also, in terms of where he challenged my ideas of what is and what should be and what should not be. And I remember in the very last day, and it's too much to tell all of them, but in the very last day, we were going to fly to India for the pilgrimage directly afterwards. So in the last evening, we were going to leave the next morning, I was, everything somehow was quiet. All of a sudden, somehow everybody just disappeared from the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, Guruji was still with people in the eating room. And so I was in the kitchen. I went to the kitchen to prepare Guruji's tea, because I thought maybe, before he goes to sleep, he wants another tea. Usually, when you travel with Guruji, I learned that you have to learn how to make his tea in the right moment. Not too late that he has to ask, but not too early that it gets cold. And that's a very difficult thing. But most of the time, it's good just to make it, because it's like a constant flow of tea. That on at least a few trips that I've been, I remember, I think one day I did make like 15 teas for him or something. It's ridiculous. He was painting, he was just drinking tea the whole time. So I thought, okay, maybe he wants another tea before he goes to sleep. And so I went to the kitchen, I made a tea for him. And I don't know why, all of a sudden everybody was gone. There was nobody there. And Guruji came to the kitchen. And he said, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm just making a tea for you. I thought maybe you want a tea before going to bed. I said, oh, it's so nice of you, so sweet. And then he said, and he had his kind of eyes, sometimes when he looks up, and he said, in a very meditative, calm, kind of sweet almost way, I'm so happy that we go to India tomorrow because Pankaj will be there to serve me and not you. And in this moment, I was like, it was not even like a scabbard. It was kind of like a sword, right? Like, bam. Because I actually thought I had done a good job. Like, not egoistically, but like in a, somewhat objective way. Like, it wasn't too bad, right? But in that moment, in some way, it was like it hurt a bit, right? But what I answered to him was like, I understand Guruji, right? Because for my normal perception, I was like, yeah, of course, obviously. He's always with Guruji. He knows exactly what to do. He knows how to make his tea. He knows, do all these things. So in that moment, I was quite calm. It was only later when I contemplated about it. It was a bit like, In that moment, I was actually quite fine. Right? But it showed me a lot in terms of the way that Guruji works is incredible, because he knows exactly what to do, how to do it, and how to say it, to make us contemplate about certain shortcomings and things that we have inside of ourselves. And it took me quite a little bit to understand what he actually means, because I'm pretty sure that in terms of physical service, I think I did a pretty good job overall. Like, if it's very rare that Guruji takes me somewhere, and I know when he does, like last time Lanzarote 2021, 21, I don't know what it was. I literally prepare myself 4 months before. I put every single location that we go to in the map, everything. I try to think of everything. I'm like to prepare, right? And so I think it was pretty good. But it took me a lot of analysis to find out what is it that he was saying. Because sometimes he says something, but he means something completely different. Or he's trying to push a certain button that he wants you to overcome, right? And so that is an ability that Guruji often uses. It is the sword that cuts off attachments, expectations, that cuts off all of these aspects of ignorance that we have, right? Ultimately, the sword is obviously also connected to qualities such as courage, strength, valor, and maybe skill also, right? You have to be skilled to wield the sword properly. Similarly, obviously today we worship Mahalakshmi, right? There's two aspects of Mahalakshmi which hold the sword, right? They're right here. It's Veera Lakshmi and Vijaya Lakshmi, these two here, right? Veera Lakshmi, Veera means courage. So it's a Lakshmi who gives courage. And Vijaya Lakshmi is the victorious one, the Lakshmi that gives success. So it is both. She gives she holds a sword to show that she gives courage and skill to learn, to teach, for us to learn how to walk through life, to defeat obstacles on our path. At the same time, she holds the sword to show that she is also the one who will make sure that we will succeed, that we will be victorious. We're not just engaging in this battle, but she will make sure that we will actually win, right? And that is the aspect of the Guru also. In every possible way, he is Mahalakshmi in that way. That he is the one who inspires us to walk on the path in the first place. He is the one who gives us the tools, the skills, the training to engage in battle, But he gives us not only the sword, but he shows us how to use it. And he's also the one who will make sure that we will succeed in that battle also. And that is what is so amazing to have Guruji in our life. That he is there every step of the way. And if you're not willing to walk, he will be behind you, making sure that you will walk. Right? Because sometimes we don't want to walk. Because the truth is that we still have to fight ourselves. Right? Krishna says that also in the end of chapter 4, right? Verse 42, the very last verse. He says, pick up the sword of knowledge and cut out this doubt which has arisen from ignorance. But he says, pick up the sword and fight. He doesn't say, I will pick it up for you and fight for you. He says, you have to pick it up. I will tell you exactly what to do and how you have to do it. But you have to do it yourself also. You have to do something. And it's the same for us also. But he provides us everything that is possibly necessary to succeed. But we still have to make our effort. Right? And so that's the aspect of what I perceive somehow with these two aspects of Lakshmi in Guruji also. Also amongst the Alvars, you can see he's just under the screen, Pei Alvar is the manifestation of the Lord's sword. In the Gita also, the sword is connected to the image of the flaming sword, the sword which cuts ignorance, and it is also seen with a connection to discrimination, the tool of discrimination. Right? As we know, what happens from the description that Krishna gives in chapter 2, what happens when we lose discrimination, which is the last of that chain reaction by becoming attached, we are lost. And so the first thing that we need to gain back or regain is discrimination. And that is what is represented by the sword predominantly. The ability to discriminate will help to detach from material things, will help to detach from the bondages that we have created. Similarly, there's a second verse in which Krishna speaks about the sword, or uses the sword as an example in the Gita, and it's in the beginning of chapter 15, verse 3, right, in which he speaks about the Ashwatha tree. And he says that we have to cut down this deeply rooted tree, the tree of attachment, or the strong weapon as of detachment. And Guruji in his commentary of this verse, he says that here Bhagavan says that as long as this tree of creation, which is firmly rooted, very strong and very powerful, is not destroyed, it is not cut down with the sword of detachment, this passion, one will never be free. One will never seek the highest goal. One stays blind until one develops detachment. Right? On Navratri also spoke about the sword. It is one of the maybe more favorable weapons of Durga. Also, many of the Devis of Navratri carried the sword also, as she's fighting Mahishasur and all the various demons, right? The various demons of pride, ego, jealousy. And so the sword of discrimination is what helps us to firstly recognize those enemies and secondly to fight them, to overcome them, right? And so many deities for that reason hold the sword, whether it is Durga, whether it is Krishna, Narayana, whether it is Kartikeya, sometimes as a general, also showing the ability to overcome obstacles. They all remind that what they bring is the supreme, and how to attain the supreme is that we need to pick up our own weapon. We need to pick our own sword and fight with this ability of discrimination to make the right choices. Because in the other day, as it started with a verse that I took from the Bhagavatam, there's only one very, very simple choice you have to make in life, and that's to remember God. It again comes down to that most simple of instructions, just remember Him. It doesn't matter how you do it, it just matters that you do it. Guruji gives us so many tools and ways and sadhanas and japam and om chanting and kriya and puja and scriptures and painting and music and whatever it may be you want to choose. It doesn't matter as long as you remember God. That is the sword of discrimination that we have to pick up. And that is also the only way in which we can actually have gratitude towards what Guruji is giving us. It is by using the tools that He's giving us. That's all we need to do, to remember Him. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladhala Taine Praladhataine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shilatankana Kalaye Shilatankana Kalaye Ito Nashimho Parato Nashimho Ito Nashimho Parato Nashimho Yato yato yami tato 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 nashimho Bahe nashimho hridaye nashimho Narasimhadmahim sharanam prapate Narasimhadmahim sharanam prapate Narasimhadmahim sharanam prapate Narasimhadmahim sharanam prapate Tava kara kamala varenaka Adbhuta Shringam Talyata Hiranyakashipu Tano Pringam Keshavadeta जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल हरे नकार अद्भुत श्रृंगार तलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु प्रिंगा केशवधेता नरहरि रूपा केशवधेता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल हरे नकार अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु प्रिंगा केशवधेता नरहरि रूपा केशवधेता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे ओ जयो नृसिंहदेव 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 जयो नृसिंहदेव जयो नृसिंहदेव 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 जयो नृसिंहदेव जयो प्रहलाद महाराज भक्त स्वरूप जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज भक्त स्वरूप जयो प्रहलाद महाराज गुरुदेव 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 जयो जयो गुरुदेव 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 जयो जयो गुरुदेव जयो जयो गुरुदेव 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 जयो जयो गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरु श्री विश्वानंद गुरुदेव 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 श्री विश्वानंद गुरुदेव रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में करुणा कराय मंगल मंगल में यतीन्द्राय करुणा कराय मंगल मंगल में प्रपत्ति धर्मे कराताय मंगल मंगल में प्रपत्ति धर्मे कराताय मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में सालिग्राम प्रतिष्ठिताय मंगल मंगल में सालिग्राम प्रतिष्ठिताय मंगल मंगल में त्रिदंडधारिणी कोटकृचाय मंगल मंगल में त्रिदंडधारिणी कोटकृचाय मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रंगे सा कैंकर्यरताय मंगल मंगल में रंगे सा कैंकर्यरताय मंगल मंगल में माननताय धरणीधराय मंगल मंगल में माननताय धरणीधराय मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में मंगल मंगल में मंगल मंगल में ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निश दिन सेवत तुमको निश दिन सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता उमा रमा ब्रह्माणि तुम ही जगमाता मैया तुम ही जगमाता सूर्य चंद्रमा जावत सूर्य चंद्रमा जावत नारद ऋषि गाथा ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता दुर्गा रूप निरंजन सुख संपत्ति दाता मैया सुख संपत्ति दाता जो कोई तुमको जावत जो कोई तुमको जावत रिद्धि सिद्धि धन पाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता तुम पाताल निवासिनी तुम ही शुभदाता मैया तुम ही शुभदाता कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी कर्म प्रभाव प्रकाशिनी भवनिधि की दाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता इस घर में तुम रहते सब सद्गुण आता मैया सब सद्गुण आता सब संभव हो जाता सब संभव हो जाता मन नहीं घबराता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता तुम विनय ज्ञान होते वस्त्र न कोई पाता मैया वस्त्र न कोई पाता कान पान कवे पाव कान पान कवे पाव सब सुम से आता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता सब गुण मंदिर सुंदर क्षीरोदहि जाता मैया क्षीरोदहि जाता रत्न चतुर्दश तुम बिन रत्न चतुर्दश तुम बिन कोई नहीं पाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता महालक्ष्मी जी की आरती जो कोई कन खाता मैया जो कोई कन गाता पुर आनंद समाता पुर आनंद समाता पाप उतर जाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुम तुमको निषदि न सेवत तुमको निषदि न सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निषदि न सेवत तुमको निषदि न सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निषदि न सेवत तुमको निषदि न सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निषदि न सेवत तुमको निषदि न सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता मैया जय लक्ष्मी माता तुमको निषदि न सेवत तुमको निषदि न सेवत हर विष्णु विदाता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता तमेव माता च पिता तमेव तमेव बन्धुर्च सखा तमेव तमेव विद्या द्रविणं तमेव तमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा तमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनोर्भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनोर्भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। प्रेम सो लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की श्री भूतभृतेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की भवताक्रिय बाबा जी की श्री रामानुजाचार्य की प्रेम से बोलो सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु के ओम क्रीं कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपीजनवल्लभाय पराय परमपुरुषाय परकर्म मंत्रयंत्र तंत्र औषधानि शस्त्राणि समराय समराय मृत्यो मोचाय मोचाय ओम नमो भगवते महासदर्शनाय दीप्ति जलाप्रदाय सर्वे शोभनां पद परशमे परम ब्रह्मणे परम ज्योतिषे स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम एकदरमना गोविंदा गोविंद शरण गोविंदा भक्तवत्सल गोविंदा 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 कुंडली कवरदे एकनाथ नाम थे पंद्रीनाथ महाराज की रुक्मिणी महारानी की समस्त भक्त मंडली की अलवाय पुरमनाय तेरे कले शरणम